later on. Okay, so before we continue with today's content, I would like to take your questions if you have any difficulty, if you have any issues, any challenges in your work. So please let me know, and we can take this opportunity, initial first 10 to 15 minutes in solving any sort of your problems, or you're facing any challenges with the work I have given, or any technical issues. So please let me know. So we'll try to solve it, and we can start working for today's session later on. Yeah, please unmute your mic if you have any difficulties, any challenges, because today's session is more technical and hands-on as compared to session 1. And this week you may have a few activities which might need some technical work and some time for your working. So before we move on to this technical stuff, I need confirmation that everybody is working and you are on track and you have all the information required for this session.
Hi, Dr. Qureshi. Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So I am guilty that the last 2 weeks I was under severe work pressure and I could not attend the last week's module, but I have watched the recording in full. Unfortunately, I just finished watching it about 10 minutes back in full. So I have not done the exercise. I can see from the way you explained last week's session, which I watched completely, that I should have tried to watch it about 2 or 3 days back so I could have done the lessons and been prepared. How much am I going to suffer today? I will catch up. In the coming week, I will do last week's modules and this week's also. But how much am I going to suffer by not understanding what I'm supposed to do in today's session? Very sorry for this.
I think the way I designed this course is the first week is just introduction. Okay, so you will not lose anything for now.
Okay.
And some part of it which you are going to create like a research question, I will do it today in front of you all. So using a few tools, and you can follow me here.
Okay.
Are you logged in through your laptop or mobile phone?
Laptop.
Then perfect. So you can follow me today, and I will create some research question, and you can just quickly follow me through this process, and you will get it done.
Thank you. And just a quick follow-up, since you mentioned mobile phone. You last time during the last time session, which I watched the recording, you mentioned about how these lessons are so easy. You can just watch them on the go. Is there an app that I can use on my phone that I can watch it, or do I have to go to a browser on my phone?
No, there is no app. You need to work with the browser, because we currently have our system only on the browser. So
that's fine.
I to work with the app, but not being developed yet.
Got it. No worries. I was just checking, just in case there was something I had missed somewhere, because if there was an app, because then you can just listen it when you go for a walk also.
Yeah, but you need internet and browser for now.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else having any difficulties, any question?
Oh, sorry, Dr. Qureshi, just one more question. Because this is about a systematic literature review, just to inform you, I have started work on a systematic literature review, but I was getting extremely frustrated and it has gone cold over the last, I won't say 8, 9 months, 1 year. Okay, it's literally gone. Would you advise that I start from scratch, or would you advise I take what I've done? Because I've done the keywords, I've done the, the searches and things like that. Obviously, they would have to be redone because so much of time has gone. Is in your advice, which is fine, would you say just leave that alone and start from scratch again?
You have idea ready. I would never ask you to redo that idea, because the idea is the most important part of any research. Okay. So if you have already idea developed in your mind, so you can continue with the same idea, but obviously we need to refine at some moment. So just follow my guideline, and I hope so there would be some part where you can leverage on this class and update your literature and all this, so you can continue with the same idea. I would say to change it if that idea is workable. But we need to identify whether that idea is workable or not. So that I will discuss in today's session.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue with today's session. Please, if you have any questions, unmute your mic most of the time, or raise hand option is another option, because in chat box when I'm presenting, sometime it's difficult for me to stop and watch your or read your messages. Yes, I can do that at the end of the session. So if you have any sort of question which you want me to consider at the end of the session, just type it in the chat box. But if you have some question related to the content I'm presenting and the work I'm doing, please go on and unmute your mic and ask questions during this session. So let's make this session more interactive. Okay. So let's continue with the learning session for today, which is more critical. But before I start, I'll just quickly give you a recap of what we have learned in the previous module. The module 1 was basically I discussed about the systematic literature review process in general. Yeah. Any question? Okay. So if you don't have any questions, so keep your mics muted, so there would be no interruption. Okay. So this is the 4-step model we are working on. And I have uploaded one video for understanding the fundamentals of systematic literature review. And this is for systematic literature review overall, no matter what tools and techniques you are using. This is the method you need to follow while you are working with systematic literature reviews. Okay. But at the same time, we have developed our own systematic literature review workflow, which is also based on the 4 steps, which are similar to these 4 steps, which we already discussed in the fundamentals of systematic literature review. And in the module 1, which was about the conceptualization, and I asked you to create some sort of research question. And before we continue with the module 1, the first thing we need to learn is what exactly we are working on. So what is the outcome of this course? Okay, so as I mentioned in my first presentation, that the outcome is writing a systematic literature review research article. That is the minimum output I need from this session. But at the same time, if you are working for a thesis or for a dissertation, you can just follow the same pattern. But obviously, we need to, bring that idea into some reality. So that is where the SLR format, paper format is very important. Okay, so I have developed, and I will share that format for this systematic literature review article with the video of today's live session, remember, and I'll try to share it email also. So I will try to upload one.
Nasa ano tayo, nasa Apple. Nasa
Kindly, if there is no question, please unmute your mic. Okay, so let's talk about the format of the systematic literature review first. Very important one. I will give you a very general format which you can apply on any sort of systematic literature review, which tells us the different steps of systematic literature review. And I'm going to give you a brief discussion or brief overview of the research article which we can write through this systematic literature review or using this different AI tools. Okay, so this is a template which I'm going to share with all of you, and this is being prepared for writing an A quality or a high quality research article based on the systematic literature review. So please be with me here, and if you have any question related to this template, and at any point of this template, if you have any question, please ask me. Let me quickly or briefly go through this template, and then if you have any question, you can continue. So it is like a simple research article, which is a standard research article which we write for any research. But remember, in systematic literature review, we have a little bit different template which we use. Okay, so the abstract, obviously, we can write the abstract at the end of the session. I will upload a few videos to to make it like a very promising abstract. So I have a few key points which you need to mention in the abstract to make it like a high quality abstract for your research. But that is not the part of this session. We will do it at the end of this, like completing the research article. So abstract would be the last thing when you will complete everything. Okay. So introduction, yes, we need to have an introduction part in our research article. Then there is no literature review because this is a literature review research article. So we directly from introduction, we will move to the second part or second subsection of our research article, which is materials and method. And then next is your result. And finally, you will have your literature themes and conclusion would be your last step of your research template, okay, research article. So abstract, I have given a few, instruction for each step also. Just follow these instruction. This is abstract, which I believe is very much clear to everyone, but I have also prepared a video for writing a good quality abstract, and I will upload that later on. But this one, you will find this in additional learning at the end of 4th week, okay? So because this is not the case for today's session. Okay, so let's continue with the introduction. Now, this is where we have already started working in module 1. This is where you are going to start with developing a research question, okay? So introduction, where you will define a problem and then you will identify a relevant research question which you are going to, uncover within your research. So this is introduction part. So mainly in introduction part, we can use different AI tools, but most probably because this is like more like brainstorming, identifying challenges or issues. So we work with all these Copilot, Gemini, or ChatGPT for working with this. And yes, we will be working with some other tools as well to develop introduction. But for now, we just need a very clear research question. That was part of your literature review module 1. Okay, so this is introduction part. What we need in introduction part is already being defined here. Then we have materials and methods. Obviously, for systematic literature review, the most widely accepted standard is Prisma guidelines. So we use a similar method. Almost everybody is familiar with that, but I have already uploaded one video on Prisma guidelines, how you can follow that guidelines and use your research question to develop keywords and then search in different sources, inclusion and exclusion criteria, quality assessment. All this needs to be written in material and method part of your research article. Okay, and I have given you some of these examples which have been used in different research articles. Most probably these are my published articles, so you can understand that how it works. Okay, so this is one sort of very simple standard for Prisma guideline. But similarly, you can write it in a different way if you want to make it more standard or more convincing type of research article. So we can call it multi-stage systematic literature review. You can read this, framework, or you can read this flow chart, and you will understand that the way I'm working on this Prisma guideline. So it's a simple thing. Steps are simple: identification, screening, and inclusion, which is already being discussed in that video, and you can watch that video and follow that pattern. Okay, so this is materials and method. Then the result, the initial result, which I hope so we will be working today or in this module as well. So for initial result, you need to extract data from different sources into Microsoft Excel, and then Excel will give you initial descriptive results. Okay, so we will use Excel's AI option. Excel is also very powerful tool for AI analytics. Okay, so we will be using Excel's AI for working with this descriptive analysis. But before this, we need to extract all the information from different databases, for example, Scopus, Web of Sciences, or maybe multiple databases, and then we need to combine them, and then we need to have, work with the descriptive analysis. Yes, Annie, you have a question, please?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for this wonderful class. Question. I'm looking at your 21-page document here. Did you say you were going to share this at the end of the course or today?
No. I will upload this with the today's session.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very
Fine.
much. That's my
This is the basic template, and everyone needs to work on this. So I will share it as early as possible.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a simple descriptive analysis in the result, but that is just to give you a flavor of your Microsoft Excel capabilities. The videos have already been uploaded, how you can get all these results from Excel with one click. Okay. So video for Microsoft Excel is already being uploaded. Okay, so let's continue looking at the possibilities. So once we have done the descriptive analysis is actually, it's not very, deep analysis, but it tells us, is there any anomaly in our, literature or maybe data extraction? So it gives us a flavor of our data so we can understand that we are on the right track or not. And we can, if there is any like abnormality, we can discuss and identify that abnormality and solve it during the descriptive analysis. Okay. So once descriptive analysis is being done, let's say you have 200 research articles downloaded. Now, what are the options now? So the option is, as I mentioned at the first lecture, we will divide them into different groups. We call them clusters. Sometimes we call them themes. Sometimes we call them different experiments based on your choice. Okay. But there are two methods of doing that that analysis. Okay, remember this is very important point and a little bit complex as well. This is where the research is getting more maybe focused or complex at the same time. Okay, so what we are trying to do is we have identified, let's say, 100 research articles, and then we want to divide them into different groups. We call them cluster, themes, groups, whatsoever. So how can we do this? There are two different methods available. Before this development of this AI, a generative AI, which helps us a lot, we were using bibliometrics analysis, okay, centrometrics analysis or bibliometric analysis. And especially, we were using these keywords in order to expose the themes in the literature, okay? And for that point, we were exporting data from from Scopus or Web of Sciences and importing that data into any bibliometric analysis tools, okay? So the tools we were using, most probably everybody is familiar with this, is R, BiblioShiny, VosViewer, SiteSpace, Giphy. There are many different options available for this. But what I'll do, I will upload videos on R with the bibliometrics, how you can identify different themes of your literature based on bibliometric analysis using bibliometrics or BiblioShiny package in R, or also can be uploaded for VosViewer. But that would be in your additional learning, because that is not the method we are using in this class for now. But obviously we were using this in past, so that's why we can, I can give you some videos on this. So if you are interested in learning bibliometrics, so you can watch those videos and help yourself in working with the bibliometrics and identifying themes in your literature. Okay, so that was the previous method, because we don't have any other methods to work with the vast amount of information. That is why we were using these tools, because they were, helpful for us to identify the clusters and themes. But now we don't need them, because we have more sophisticated AI tools which can help us in order to identify different themes within our data. Okay, and it can work with all a big amount of data. And I believe they are very helpful in different ways. The first thing is in bibliometric analysis, we were working with the metadata. We were not working with the whole research article or the PDF file. But now we have that capabilities. We can upload all PDF files and ask questions. And this capability can give us more like advanced level of analytics and more advanced level of understanding about the research we are conducting. Okay? So that is why in this course, we will be using second method to develop clusters or the groups of research, which is based on AI tool. And I will be using PowerDrill, Elicit, SciSpace, and Gemini, also Copilot for this. So I will show you all of them, and you can use whatever tool you want to use for your research, because availability of these tools are different. In some cases, we have availability to upload files in Copilot, and that is where we can work with Copilot. So it depends on your choice, but I will give you the flavor of all of these. Okay, so we have some questions. Okay, so any question here? So we have two different methods of creating groups, clusters, or literature classifications or themes in the literature. One is bibliometrics approach, widely used. We were using it in the past, but now we are using AI tools for similar analytics, because we don't need all those bibliometrics tools, because our AI tools are capable of much more capable of doing all this with some prompts. Okay, so this is how we will be creating different clusters. Okay, so this is how we will be working with this research article template, where we'll be dividing our literature into different groups. Okay, so these are a few examples which I have already mentioned, so you can watch those examples, and I will give you videos on all these information, how you can collect and you can use this. Okay, so I've already mentioned that detailed videos for method 1 would be in your additional learning, and I will try to upload this before next week. Okay, but for the bibliometrics, you will find in additional learning, and for AI tools, we will be working next week how we can work with different AI tools in order to develop themes and all this. So that is not for this module. This would be next module, method 2, and we'll be using Power Drill, Elicit, and SciSpace, very powerful AI tools. Okay, so this is for developing clusters or groups or the themes. So once the themes are being defined, now it is our time to work within each theme. So for example, if you have 100 research articles, so you need to divide them into maybe 20-25 themes. I'm not sure. We will see how the theme is being explored. So let's say, assume an example that we have 5 themes now, and technically, it's not possible that one article is related to only one theme. Most of the time, one article is related to more than one theme. But let's say, take it as an example. So we have 100 articles, 5 themes, and 20 articles in each theme. Now, it is our time to work within these clusters or themes and try to understand what are the limitations and what work has been done and what are the limitations on the literature. Okay. So when we are working within the cluster, we will be using same criteria, same Prisma guidelines. So if you follow the same guideline, again, this literature review would be called as multi-stage, okay, or multi-level. But if you're working for one Prisma guidelines only, that is also possible. That is just systematic literature review. So you can continue with both options. We'll go with the multi-level, or we'll go with the simple systematic literature review. The example of both Prisma guidelines is already provided. Okay. So for example, here, let me show you the Prisma guidelines. If you are doing simple analysis using Prisma guideline, this is the workflow you will be following. Okay. So then these articles are included, and then the rest of the analysis. But here, if you look at this, included 947 research articles, then we use bibliometrics, and theme were developed, and in each theme, these are the number of articles, and then we work with the stage 2 of systematic literature review, working within the themes. Okay, that is little bit complex, but once you understand that, that makes life very easy for all of us. We have tools and capabilities to work with this sort of arrangements. Okay, so any question until here? Things are clear? So we have divided our literature into different clusters, and I already mentioned what we need to write within each cluster and what are the sample illustrations, but these are just samples. Obviously, everyone is expert of their own field, so you can create different sort of table, diagrams, or analysis whatsoever. Okay, so once we complete the clusters, then it is time to conclude, and the conclusion is where synthesis is need to be made. Okay, so we need to find out something, which we can represent as a conclusion or as a synthesis. Sometime it is a theory, sometime it is just the the collection of our findings. Sometimes it is exploration of the limitation in the literature, depending on your research question. But I would recommend you to use any illustration to explain that synthesis. Okay. In my case, I have explained that very simply. Okay. So in this template, what I have done is I have worked on blockchains in supply chain, and I was looking at the possibility of how these blockchains can make our supply chain management more efficient. So when I explored these keywords and I identified there are 3 simple clusters just to make things very simple. So blockchains can have an environmental impact in supply chain. It can have a social impact, and it can have a economic impact on our supply chain management. So these are 3 different clusters which I identified from the literature, and based on my finding, this is how I summarize the whole findings into one. So blockchain technology can include social inclusion because it allows verified transactions, but at the same time, it is also having some economic impact, lowering down the cost and accessibility of the product or services. And then also it have environmental impact. And this is where I've identified all pros and cons for this research. Okay, so this is just to give you an illustration how we work on any systematic literature review research article. Yes, any you have question, please?
Yes, I do. So your graphic here on page 20 is outstanding. Did you create that, or you have a graphic artist do, or was that actually developed from an AI program?
Some part of it I developed, and some part of it was developed with AI. Okay, so there is a tool, we call it Napkin. I will show you how you can use this because that is part of our course as well. How you can create these type of graphics and tables easily. Okay, so you don't need to be an expert of any graphics application. But yes, I did it on Photoshop, so obviously it needs some more like a technical understanding, but we have tools for that. Okay, so napkin.ai is one of the tools which can help you to work with any information, and it will automatically convert that information into different graphics, and you can work with those graphics. I will teach you that as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this
I have a question. I have a quick question. So while I use the traditional methods to do clustering, right, I feel like there's discrepancy among different coders. Usually we need to have at least 3 coders to do this for traditional systematic review. And usually you do see different people are clustering themes in different ways. Yes. So this is done by AI. Is there any research or paper checking the, validation? Is, comparing to human-driven clustering, is the AI-driven clustering, like what are the differences? Like, are there discrepancies?
Excellent question. The answer is very simple. How were you doing this clustering before this? You were using keywords, like keyword occurrences, and then we had the calculation for their differences and closeness, centrality and density. These are the calculations we were performing through different tools, okay? And then we were trying to identify, even though we have 2 different approaches of developing clusters. One is organic, which you are mentioning that the organic mean the human interface is, human interference is not within the system. So we will upload the data into any bibliometrics and it will automatically give us clusters, right? So this is what you are referring to, the traditional one. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And the second one is where the researcher's intervention is required. So researcher will make decision what type of different clusters are being formed, right? Both options are possible in AI-based systems, okay? When I say AI-based system, the verification and the collection or maybe the authentication, it is based on some scientific method. For example, we will be running the same analysis, but this time we will not be running that analysis on metadata only. We will upload the whole research article and perform the same analysis, right? So the difference and all this. So it is a scientific method where you will have formulas and everything with you, which I'm going to teach you. But in some cases, yes, you can develop your own themes based on your own understanding. And this is where researcher will lead the process. In both cases, the role of AI is just to automate the process, not the leading the process. Okay. So you are in control in both cases. It's just the prompt. And about the verification, obviously we will use some formulas for co-keyword occurrences, co-concept development. So these formulas are purely quantitative. So even though if you are working with any AI tool, still the process is same. Okay. So it's verified and being used.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, Kiran, your question, Kiran?
Yes, hi. Just to take the previous question forward, at what point in the whole process do we as a researcher read every one of those 200 articles, or do we not do it at all? Do we just find them, search, get them down? So AI helps us to find it, AI helps us to analyze it, AI helps us. So is AI, metaphorically speaking, is AI a co-researcher or is AI a research assistant?
No, it's just a process automation. Don't take it like AI is co-author or that. For example, why do you read these 200 research articles? What you want to achieve from that?
To understand the field, one. I mean, regardless of writing the literature review, if you want to write an article in any field, okay, the hope is that you understand the field well and you've problematized blah 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 and all those nice words. Okay, so we've done that. So I would assume that I am reading it. I don't like to read them, and I would much rather not read all those 200 articles, to be honest. But the reason for reading them, intellectually speaking, is that I really truly understand the fields. And then I, like the previous question, said I sit and I say, okay, this article goes into this theme, that article goes into that theme. And then my co-author does it, and then another co-author does it. Then we have three people who get together and do it. Now, I'm letting...
What do you think? Can I interrupt you here? What do you think? Can this process be automated?
I'm sure it can.
That's what AI would be doing it.
I agree. Will highly ranked journals accept that no human has done it at all?
No. You will do it, and the process is we are just extracting the information in form of tables, maybe in form of questions. Okay, so still its process is led by you, not AI. Okay, so the thing is you have that ability to upload data and ask questions, which you are trying to explore through reading all these research articles. So you will have something in your mind while you are reading. Okay, can I look at the methodology? Yes. Okay, so now I can do that with just a simple one prompt. Okay, can you tell me what are the different methodologies are being used in these 200 research articles? Now the system can tell you easily, right? So in that case, you are learning in the same way, but the process is automated. Okay. So by reading, what we are doing with the reading is, I'm not saying that you should not read. You should always read and make your because for research article, before you start writing any research article, you should be able to analyze or understand the conclusion point at that time. Okay. So you should be prepared for that before you start. And we all know that. So the process is this: you will upload that information into some research tools, and then you will ask similar question. Okay, can you tell me what are the methodologies? What are the different tools being used? What are the different sample sizes? What are the results? Okay, they are same question which you may ask when you are reading these questions and try to fit in that information into different columns. But that process was difficult for us to do because we need to read a lot. And then we need to make decisions. Now we can ask AI to read and then we can make decisions. So it's like a simple technique, and it is not, we are not reading, we are extracting information, sometimes summary or sometimes methodology or all this. I will show you that. So at any point, I don't think so AI is leading your research. If this is the case, it means that definitely AI is your co-author. But in our case, it's not the same. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So it's just like processing information quickly, automating some processes, right?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Rita, your question, please.
Yes. Thank you. I'd like to ask, is there a systematic literature without graphic representation?
There are many. There are many. When you have any theoretical development and you have your idea is to conclude a few theories and develop a new theory, obviously you can work without graphics. But graphics, tables, and figures, they are self-explanatory and it gives more value to your work. So whenever you try to consolidate your thoughts, try to consolidate them in the form of any graphics, flowchart. There are many possibilities. So if you learn that, the thing would be easier for you and for your reader.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Any question?
Yes, I have one.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay, in your multi-stage systematic literature methodology, the graph there, we have the first step is identification and the second is screening. And I wonder, at the beginning, we have a research question. We put it on the Web of Science, for example, with some keywords to have a initial record. And then we have some criteria to remove, have the screening, some of the records there. So my question is, do we use the AI tool here? And how we use AI tool to identify the criteria to remove some of these records here?
Okay, for the AI for data extraction, remember all these websites and tools, especially Scopus and Web of Sciences, they work on the same mechanism. They are already using LLM, large language models within their system. So when you are interacting with these databases, technically you are working with their AI. And now they have advanced level of AI as well. But we don't need any other tool, because if we temper this stage, especially the Prisma guideline, it means that we are tempering the whole research process. So this is a very delicate process when we are working with systematic literature review. We can consider any literature review systematic if it follow the same process. Okay, so yes, we can use, but the functionality might be limited. Okay, so we need to work a little bit manual here. Okay, but I will show you how we do this quickly. And I have already uploaded the videos for Scopus database, and you can watch that video, how we can use Prisma guideline. But first step is to learn Prisma guideline and then apply them on Scopus or Web of Sciences. So that process is still traditional. I don't have any tool which can help you to work with this, finding and all this. Yes, I know there are many tools, AI tools, where you just ask question and then they can show you all these research articles, but they do not follow any rigorous evaluation process. So this is where the scientific research matters. So we need to authenticate each record we are extracting from any databases. This is where your all contribution is. So make sure you follow the right process. And yes, we are using AI, but some limitation are there. We cannot use any AI because we don't have access to any AI which can directly access all the data from Scopus or Web of Science and export it. For now, this functionality is not available. Okay?
Thank you.
Any other question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's continue. And another question, just for a thought, because you asked that AI can be your co-author. No, we have very clear instructions from the journals now. They can accept any AI used in any research article, but you need to have a disclaimer that this is where I have used AI and this is for what purpose I used AI in my manuscript. Okay. So if you are writing for very high quality research articles, obviously you need to mention AI is not your co-writer, but it is a software or it is a tool which you are using. So sometime we will be using that in methodology. So we need to mention in our research, and also as a disclaimer that this is the tool we use and this is for the purpose we use in our research. Okay. Yes, it is our research assistant. Yeah, perfect. Okay, it's a really good term now. Okay, so this is a brief introduction of our SLR template. So everybody is clear now. So what we are trying to achieve with this course. Any question on this template? Otherwise, I can move to the next slide. Okay, clear? Okay, I'll share this template very soon with everyone. So this is what we have already done in module 1, developing a research question. Remember, there are 3 different phases of research question development, which I have already mentioned. And then you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot for working with AI and for research question, because this is where you will be working with AI tool for brainstorming, okay, and identifying the real question and brainstorming it again and refining it in 3 different phases. So once you have your final research question ready with you, it is our time to apply Goldilocks test, okay? Now, what is Goldilocks test? This is important to understand. There is no specific criteria on this. This is just my own practice and the way I do my literature and identify whether the topic is good enough or not, okay? So there is no authentication on this rule, but this is a very well practiced in my research. So I always got good results for this, okay? So how to apply Goldilocks test? Very important one. So let's try to learn. So I'll quickly put few options for you, because some of you are just started your session now. So I have asked one question to ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot, okay, all of them. And my area of research is more on sustainability, supply chain, digitalization. So what I did is I asked a very simple question, a prompt, okay? So what is basically our verb? So I asked a question, what are the latest development in the use of generative AI in supply chain management research? This is a very simple introductory prompt where I can identify different areas. Okay, so this is the result I received from ChatGPT. This is the result I received from Copilot. This is the result I received from Gemini. Okay, so you can see that almost similar sort of options were provided. Okay, yes, there are some differences, but not many. Let's say now this is my first step of working with any AI tool to develop any research question. I'm just giving you a very quick guideline. For ChatGPT, I have already uploaded that video. So let's work on Gemini today. So let's see how we can use Gemini to identify a relevant research question. So demand forecasting and inventory optimization, risk management and resilience, supply chain network design, sustainable supply chains, and then personalized customer experience, autonomous supply chains. All these are different and really good research areas. Okay, so I believe we can work on any one of them. So let's make things quick and easy. So I want to get some more detailed option for option 2. Now I'm interested in risk management and resilience. Now I'm going to ask Gemini. Now let's see how it works. Okay, so now I'm digging into this specific area, which is risk management and resilience using generative AI in supply chain. Okay, so predictive analytics for disruptive forecasting, supply chain, supply risk, disaster recovery planning. I think supply chain vulnerability assessment, predictive analytics. So let's say so I just ask it, can you develop a few research questions based on predictive analytics and disruption forecasting? Okay, so let's see what are the methodologies and techniques commonly used. These are questions for systematic literature review. So let's see, the specific research question. Let's say we take this one. What performance matrices are used to evaluate accuracy and reliability of predictive models? Okay. Now, this research question, this is how we try to identify any research question. A very quick note, but obviously you need to take a detailed process, need to learn for each, and then you can finalize. It's not just a very quick process, but just for illustration, I made it quickly. So now we have a few key terms. It's performance matrices, and then we have our research question. So let's say I want to search this on Web of Sciences. Okay, now I have my research question ready. Now let's search on search on Web of Sciences. So performance matrices is my first keyword. Okay, remember when we are using keyword which have multiple words in it, we need to use inverted comma.
So is this a database of research articles?
Yes, Web of Sciences is the most authentic database for research article. There are many databases, but researchers all over the world, they give ratings to all these databases. Web of Science is number one,
Okay.
and number two is the Scopus. Okay, so for Scopus, I have already uploaded videos how you can work with the Scopus. So that's why I'm not working with the Scopus in this illustration. So I'm working with the Web of Sciences, so you can have a flavor of both of them. Okay,
Wonderful.
so
Thank you.
supply chain and you need to use Boolean operators and or not. Okay, so please watch that video where I have explained how you can use Scopus database for search results. Okay, we cannot use Google Scholar or any other search engines for our research. Okay, remember that that's the important part. When you are writing any systematic literature or any research article, you need to mention what are the databases you search. Okay, these are very well developed databases, and they have many good functionalities which we can use, and they are authentic because the meaning, the documents listed within these databases, they are rigorously peer reviewed, they are authentic, and they are very well written. So that is the standard we are following in this examples. Okay, so performance matrices, supply chain, and let's say generative AI. Okay, so when I use these words, see, okay, so you can see that a very few articles have been identified. Okay, now this work is telling me that this sort of the research is not possible for systematic literature. I need to make it more broader. Okay, so there are two possibilities when you are working with any database. You will find many research articles, maybe more than 500, or you will find very few research articles, less than 25. In both cases, this area is not workable, especially for systematic literature review. Okay, so let's try to refine this one. So if I use this one, supply chain and AI, so how many research article I will get? Now this is 1,600 research article. Okay, so this is my first search. So remember, when we are working with any systematic literature review, we need an optimal number of research articles. Otherwise, that is not possible to write a systematic literature review, because the assumption behind systematic literature review is that reasonable amount of literature is already available for that particular topic. Okay, so this is how you can determine the right size of the research articles which you can start working with. this is where Goldilocks test needs to be applied. Okay. So the criteria is very simple. If you are working with the research article and you started with the search query, develop your research question, and you identified your keywords, search those keywords on Web of Sciences or Scopus, and you find less than 25 research articles, it means that your topic is too much narrow. You need to make it more like a broader. Okay. So this is criteria number 1. Then what is the optimum number? This is a very important question. What is the optimum number we can work with? Okay, so in most cases, I would recommend not more than 500 research articles. So if you have more than 500 research articles, in first search, it means that this title is too much broader. But obviously that depends on topic and many other factors as well. But as a rule of thumb, please make sure when you search a topic for the first time, you will receive less than 500 research article as a test case. It means that, yes, we can start working with this research article for, with this concept for systematic literature. It's more than 500. It's always difficult to, study all of them and convert them into information. That's really difficult. It's not possible. Okay. So that is the criteria which I'm using, but obviously you can work within your domain. For example, the medical, sometimes some studies, they carry very much, unique value. For example, the sample size is too big and there are only 20, 30 or 40 research articles available on that specific treatment or a specific disease. I would go with that because they carry, reasonable value. So there is no set rule, but as a rule of thumb, not go beyond 500 and not less than 25 research article at first instance. Okay, clear? So you do understand the criteria for Goldilocks test now. Okay, number of article at first search and the number of article after inclusion and exclusion. That is the step when you will apply Prisma guidelines, everything, and final research article. So it means that a question is this: how many research articles should be included in one systematic literature review? The minimum criteria, there is no set rule depending on the situation, but I would recommend minimum 50 and maximum 200 research article, which is the final data set you will have to your research. Okay. Any question on? Yeah.
That's the quick question. So the numbers are after removing duplicates, right?
Yes. The numbers, no, there are 2 steps in here. You need to understand. The first step I just taught you, okay? But the second step, you need to apply all the Prisma guideline, everything, and then the final result, okay? And most probably you will be working with these 2 databases, Web of Sciences or Scopus, right? If, for example, in Web of Sciences, you find maybe 30 or 50 research articles, let's say, and in Scopus, you find maybe 100 research articles. So most probably those articles which you extracted from Web of Sciences, they would be part of Scopus as well. So after removing duplicate, you will end up with 100 or less than 100. So after removing duplicate, applying all inclusion and exclusion criteria, don't go beyond 200. 200 is a very big number, okay? Because if you want to work with more than these research articles, it's quite challenging. That's my practice, but obviously it depends on the field, but they take it as a rule of thumb for now. So when you work with 1 or 2 research articles and you get experience, then you know how many articles you can handle.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
Is there a cost to sign up for the Clarivate Web of Sciences?
Clarivate Analytics, you can use this Web of Sciences from your university library and also Scopus. They're not free, but you can access it from your university library. And I'm accessing it from my university library, but based on their VPN. Okay, so you talk to your librarian, and they will give you access to this these tools. Okay, so as an individual, it's quite expensive, so we cannot afford it.
Yeah,
Institutions, they have it. All of institutions, they have it. But even though if you have any challenges with these databases and you don't have access to these databases, please let me know. Then we can find some alternatives for you. Okay. This is where we can help each other. Yes, Kiran?
The example that you just showed, Dr. Qureshi, in the where you searched in Web of Science and you came up with, where you asked Gemini for latest develop. Are you going to include that example in the?
I've already included one example based on the template I'm using. Okay, so the example is the same with the template. This is just for illustration. Okay,
sure.
If you're following those videos, you will be following those step by step, which is being created for that template. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. But obviously, each one of you have a different research question, and this is where I will be having one exercise today. I will let you know. But are you clear about everything here? Any question? Anyone have any question? Please unmute your mic. So what I assume is you are clear about these steps for now. So you have understanding of what we are trying to achieve from this systematic literature review course in terms of writing a research article. And then you have started generating your research question, different phases. The phase 1 is very general. Then you need to apply some specific criteria and finalize your research question. And after finalizing your research question, you need to apply Goldilocks test and identify how many research articles you received. It means that we can understand that your work is going in the right direction. Okay. So sometime if you haven't applied all these steps, sometime you're writing a literature review and you consider your research question is good enough, but sometime it is too much broader, and in sometime it is not. It is too narrow. In both cases, you will end up with nothing. Okay, so you will not be able to complete your research article. So that's why this criteria is really important. So take your time, do practice. It is possible that you have that idea and you need to apply that process multiple times. Don't worry, because this is the step where you need to do conceptualization. If this is correct, the rest of the process is very simple. But if it is not correct, no matter whatever the process you are following, you will end up with a very general type of research question where most of the journals would not be interested in your research. Okay, so make sure you have a reasonable amount of novelty in your research. Okay, so this is where your understanding about these research question and Goldilocks test needs to be applied, maybe multiple times. Okay, clear? Any question here? So if this is clear, it means that we are able to work with the step 1. Okay. Now the step 2 is very simple. Step 1 we already have cleared. Okay. So step 2 is data extraction. Okay. Now we have different databases, but the steps you need to follow for this is very simple. So first, from your research question, which you have identified your research question, you need to define keywords. Okay. Based on your research question, you need to identify the names of your variables. For example, for me, it was like AI in this illustration, but in other illustration, it is blockchain technology, supply chain, and sustainable supply chain, something like this. But here today, I used like AI and supply chain management, or maybe predictive analytics. Okay, with the predictive analytics or performance matrices, you can see that not a lot of research has been conducted. So that idea I dropped. So just focus on AI and supply chain. Now, yes, we can work with that idea, but obviously that is also 1,600 research article. I need to redefine my keywords and add some more criteria into it. But the keywords are very important. I will upload one video where you will learn how you can develop keyword from your research question. Okay. So we translate our research question into keyword. We cannot just write the whole, phrase in any database in order to extract information or related research article. These databases, especially Scopus, Web of Sciences, and all these search databases for research, they work in a different manner. Okay, it means that they need keyword. They don't need like the whole phrase. So please make sure you follow that criteria. You watch that video if you are not clear about the literature search. Okay, so develop your keyword, and then you need to develop your search query. Okay, now search query, I need that search query because we have one assignment for you, and you need to, provide me the complete query there. Okay. For example, if I search here, AI and supply chain in Scopus. Okay. So in Scopus, you can change this, all this. So I have already explained in that video how you can use Scopus and all. Okay. So now we have, let's say, 1927 research article. Okay. Now this is where, if you click on this button, advanced query, you will see this is your query. Okay. Search query. When in the assignment, I asked you, can you copy and paste your query there? And this is where you can copy and paste. You can just copy and paste your query in this. Okay. In here, if you look at the option, advanced search, let me go back to the search. Okay. Advanced search option. And then you will be redirected to the same page. Okay. So whatever query you will enter here, you will find that query here, and you can copy and paste that query into the self-assessment, which I have already uploaded on your portal. Okay. So the query is important. You need to report that query in your methodology also. Okay. So that is why please make sure you are able to understand how you can develop a right query. Okay. So please take your time to define keywords, develop queries. So once you define your keyword, define your query, this is how we can start working with the next stage, which is about inclusion and exclusion criteria. And there are different methods. I have already explained. You can use Prisma guideline. These are all methods through which you can restrict your search or refine your search. Okay. So all these different methods are available. And once you apply any of these criteria, obviously your search would be different. Okay. So it would be restricted to the criteria you identified. This is what we call inclusion and exclusion criteria. And this is also related to your research question. But I have already uploaded one video on Prisma guideline and how you can extract data from Scopus. Okay. So that will make your work easy. So once it is done, you can export those files into CSV files. So for example, here I have already applied that criteria. So let's say I'm just going to give you a very quick demonstration on how we can apply that. For example, I'm just interested in document, research article. I'm not interested in conference paper, book chapter reviews, and conference review. When I limit my search to this, now I am applying my inclusion and exclusion criteria. And with each step, you will see that my query is being changed. You can see now it is changed. Okay. It is indicating that this is the limitation you have already applied on your search. Okay. So for example, I'm also working with English language only. Then I will apply this, and you will see that the query is being changed. Okay. Now we have 671 research article. I need to click here and export as CSV file, and I need all the information available and export them into CSV file. CSV is your readable in Microsoft Excel sheet. Okay, but in Web of Sciences, you will follow the same criteria. Okay. For example, if I search here, let's say I've already done that part in AI and okay, so search. Now we have 1,600 research article in Web of Sciences. You will also follow the same criteria if you want to restrict it to the number of years, but I'm interested in the article, not proceedings and all this, and language, just English. I can change it to base on the region and all this. So please make yourself familiar with all these options available. Try to, work with these. Okay, so this one, once I apply, refine, Now you can analyze result from here as well. Okay, so you can analyze, and there are many different graphics available. You can download. This is a very simple method of data extraction. Okay, so in Web of Sciences, we click here, then we export to Microsoft Excel, and then it will ask you how many results. It can copy 1000 one time. Okay, and then full record and export. Now these files are being exported in CSV file that are readable in MS Excel. Okay, so Excel is very powerful tool, and I have already uploaded a video how you can use Excel to remove, duplicate, merge different files, and then finally how you can create downloadable link. And finally, we need to download all those research articles which are being included in this file. Okay, so this is how we need to work with this step 2. So again, a very quick overview. So you need to define your keyword, you need to develop your query, you need to apply Prisma guideline, then finally extract your result. And after extraction, you also need to work with the quality assessment criteria, mean that remove duplicates and merge all those files, and finally come up with final set of research article and try to extract all the PDF files of those research articles. This is step 2 work. Okay, but obviously a lot of work is required here, and we can use Microsoft Excel. But for what purpose? First, we will export data, then we need to merge from different sources and remove duplicate, data filtration, and descriptive analysis. All these and creating downloadable link. These all tasks has been already uploaded in different videos. So please follow those videos, and the process is already being mentioned there. Okay. So this is what you need to do in step 2, data extraction. I believe the step 2 is very much clear. The first step was to develop a research question. So once you develop a research question, then you need to identify your keywords and use these databases to extract the results. Okay. Those who are already using these databases, this is very simple work for them. But for those who are working for the first time with this or interacting for the first time with these databases, please watch those videos and try to make yourself familiar with this process. And if you have any difficulties, I will help you to work with your data. Okay. So again, there are 4 steps which we need to complete. The first module, research question, is being developed. This is what I assume you have already done. And secondly, after the second step, you should be able to download all the research articles from databases. Okay. So from the research journals. Okay. So some people, they may not have access to all those research articles, but try to access them from different sources, because we need them to upload in different AI tools in order to extract information from all of them. So try to download all the research articles which are actually extracted from different databases. Okay. So this is step 2. Now, if you have any question until here, I would love to take your question. And if not, then I can show you the downloaded file and how we need to work with them. And then we can conclude today's session. So please, if you have any question, please.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is, if you are not in any institution to have access to those databases, how do you do them?
You need to find a friend. Yeah. And consider me your friend. Just send me your query and I can try to help you, because it's not possible without that. I can't tell you. There are many alternative methods, but I don't think so they are beneficial for you. We need to access these databases. Okay, that is a must.
Okay.
If you don't have access, please try to include someone who is in university or in institution as your co-author and get them, to help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I also like to bring to your attention the fact that like I couldn't access my own. I put in a wrong password trying to get to the database. I'm sorry, to get the documents, the recordings in the class, and it took me a while. I couldn't. I sent an email that took almost how many days to respond. So I felt the response time was too lengthy. It took time. I had to write.
Is it solved or not yet?
It was solved, but it took a while, so I couldn't access the recordings on time. So I'm bringing to your attention that took too long, and it's not very good.
Okay, I will be looking at this, and hopefully next time we will not have this complaint. So I'll take care of this. I'll ask my team to respond quickly. Thank you very much. Yes, Kiran, your question?
Yeah, Dr. Qureshi, have you used ResearchGeek?
Not yet.
So ResearchGeek, you just give it a kind of question talking about the field, etc. It generates 7 research questions. Yeah.
That we can do with many other tools. For example, the SciSpace, Elicit. There are many other tools which can help you with developing research question.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use, and I will try to look at this tool, and if it is useful, we can include that in our module also.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Any other question?
Yes, please. I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we use a single database? Will the research be weaker than
First thing
combine more than one database?
First thing, I'm sorry for interrupting your question, but first thing is, can you give me your exact email, because I try to send you email, most of the time it bounce back.
Sorry, you need my email?
Email address. So we try to send you email.
Yes. Okay.
All your emails are bouncing back. Okay. So
okay, I will.
It's correct. Yeah. Can you send us email from your official or any email so we can have your email ID?
Okay. I will send you. Thank you.
Okay. So the first thing is one database. If I want to select one database, I will always choose Scopus, not Web of Sciences. Okay. So when you want to work with one database, it's possible, and there are many good research articles published with one database, but you need to choose very authentic database, okay, and provide the reason. So why I choose Scopus only, because most of the time article listed in Web of Sciences, they're already available in Scopus as well, okay, and Scopus have its own authentication also. So most of the time, if you are using just one database, it is possible, but you can use Scopus. And the second thing is, mainly the people, they have difficulties in, combining that data from different sources. This is where most of the time challenges comes in. I will provide you some videos where you will learn how you can, combine that information into one file with some AI tools. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that multiple sources. So that is not an issue. But if you have access to only one database, then I will go with Scopus. Okay, so yes, we can do that, but we need to define the reason why we select only one database.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, any other question, please?
I have used ChatGPT to form the research question, and it was very useful to put the information about my research and what kind of answer I want following your guidelines. How can I use those guidelines in Gemini?
Yeah, I have received your email also, because the email was forwarded to me on my personal email ID now. So I will respond to your email, and I have seen your research question. That's quite interesting. But the thing is, have you applied Goldilocks test? Have you applied that how many research articles you are receiving with those keywords?
I asked ChatGPT. He told me that it is not too broad and not too narrow, but I haven't done the test like you did.
Yeah, ChatGPT is just for brainstorming. It will not give you accurate results. So can you try developing and on Web of Sciences, and then can you send me email once you have number of questions, number of research articles, then we can take it from here and move on with.
Okay, I will.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Okay, any other question, please? Okay, so let's continue with the work. So I want to show you very quickly what type of results we have received from databases, just to give you a flavor of this is a database from Web of Sciences, and this is from Scopus. So I can open any one of these files, but we can combine those files by Power Query in Microsoft Excel, which I will upload, and you can learn how we can combine data from different sources, okay, by using AI. Yet, now, when I say PowerPoint have its own AI, this is where you can find PowerPoint AI, okay? So this is Analyze a Data button, and I have already uploaded one video where I have completely explained how you can use this Analyze Data function as an AI and ask question and descriptive analysis, okay? So this is just to give you a flavor. This is just a very simple output from Web of Sciences or Scopus. But the thing is, these articles, if you combine them, we need to remove duplicate. And from data tab, you can remove these duplicates simply from here, okay? And that is also data filtration. I have already uploaded that video. So this file is not complete and it is not directly usable. You need to do some quality assessment criteria on these files before we move on to the next step, okay? So technically, if I say before using any AI tool, we need to do like many filtration, and these filtration, obviously we are using AI features of Microsoft Excel, okay? So our next work will start from here once you will download all the research articles. But for now, I think everybody is clear about the task we are working for this week. We need to define keywords, we need to define Goldilocks test, and then we need to use Prisma guidelines in order to extract information from the data, okay? So before I explain it to you, the assignments of module 2, let me take some question from chat. So if there is any question, I can, let me read. Okay. Okay. Just give me a moment. I'm just trying to. Okay, Maria, you ask a question that you don't have access to Scopus and Web of Sciences. We can do research without those databases, right? But the idea is this: we need to provide an authentic results, okay? Authentic research, and most of the journal, they would not like, result from Web of Science, Google Scholar or any low category databases or search engines. So try to, find some authors from other countries. Maybe they have some access to these databases and they can help you, okay? You don't need a lot of work for them. You just need to give them the query and they can apply and give you the result. That is very simple, okay? But this problem is not just for Scopus or Web of Sciences. When you will try to download those articles, they are all closed access articles, most of them, okay? And research is not open access most of the time. So you will have this similar difficulty in downloading the research articles also. So technically what I'm trying to say is it's impossible to write a high quality research article without the access of these all databases. So I would recommend you to work with someone who is, having access to all these databases, okay? Or if you can write me, and I will try to help you as much as I can, okay? So don't worry, but it's not possible to work with these without these data. Okay, why? Vinay asks a question, why the keyword AI is not within quotes as compared to supply chain, okay? So when you are using keywords which have more than one word, okay, for example, performance management. Now there are two words, so I need to specify two words is one as a one keyword, so I need to use quotations. But AI is one word only, okay? So it's not a combination of two words or two, for a one keyword. So that's why I can write it within quotation or without quotation. It will not make any difference, okay? Can one combine systematic literature review and empirical research? Yes, meta-analysis is one of the example. Ayini, I think this is where we can combine quantitative result, and also we can use quantitative and systematic literature review combined. We can do a multiple option, but depending on the way you want to conduct your research and especially your research question. So if you want to combine both, your research question might be different than the simple one. Okay. Those who don't have access to Scopus and Web of Sciences, this is where I believe we have difficulty. So what I can do is I can give you one suggestion. So you can start working with the Google Scholar, but still you need to work with some of the people who have access to the Google or Web of Sciences. So what I can do is I can team you up with some of the your course mates, and we can help each other if everybody is willing to do that. So I will send a questionnaire asking you whether you have access to these databases or not. Those who have databases, I may ask you to help one of your friends just for one query, and they can send you that query written, and you can send them the Microsoft Excel files extracted. Okay, so I try to solve this issue for everyone. Okay, so I will do something. I will help. Yes, Kiran, your question?
Yeah, just I'm very happy to help somebody. Of course, I have university access. So if you're pairing people and you're going to send a survey kind of questionnaire out to us, would it be possible to pair us into people with similar fields, similar areas of work?
Yeah.
I know it's a lot of extra work for you, to try to find who is from which field and so on and so forth. But that would be easier then for someone of us. So if somebody asks me to help them, I don't know, in the medical field or legal field, it becomes a little bit more complicated. So, but somebody's in the business field, business management or organizational behavior, I would be happy to help them, even if I have nothing to gain.
Excellent. So what I can do is actually with this assignment in module 2, if you can access your modules for now, I have created a questionnaire where you need to give me some information. And that information is vital in terms of your experience, in terms of your expertise, and also Google profile if possible for you. Okay, so what I'll do, I will try to align these expertises and create some groups for you.
That would be really kind of you. Sorry, Dr. Qureshi, are these, do we have to submit these assignments?
It's self-assessment, but obviously, because why I need this assignment, it is not time restricted.
Yes.
Once you will send this information, I can understand your work. Okay, I can understand and I can help you a lot, and I can answer your question in next classes also.
So where is the assignment? Sorry, where is that? You said the questionnaire is already uploaded. Where is that question?
If you check on the module, I think module 2.
Yes.
The last one is self-assessment, right? So can you click on
creating downloadable link? Am I looking at something wrong?
No, I think, let me check on this first.
It's saying the last one in module 2 is creating downloadable link in MS Excel.
Refresh your page because I'm seeing it now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like a little bit detailed sort of response I need from you, and especially from your experience, your question, what type of research you want to conduct or you are conducting. So in that case, I will learn from your areas of expertise, and then I can understand whether your research question is correct or not. Okay. And for those who don't have access to these databases, please use Google Scholar and try to fill up this assignment so I can, find out your counterpart and we can work together in this way. Okay. So I need your help in order to help you actually. So that is it. Assignment module 2 would be once you complete everything. Okay. So once you complete this, it's not time bounded. You can, submit anytime, but it's a good idea because this is based on the steps you are doing. So whenever you are, working on your systematic literature review, please note down all the calculation. For example, what is the number when you first enter the keywords, okay? And then what was that query? Copy that and create a Word file, and that might be used to fill up this self-assessment. The idea is I will collect that information, especially about your research question, and I'll try to help you as much as I can. Okay. So this is all for today's session. Let me just conclude today's session. So today what we have learned is basically we work with different databases and the videos are being uploaded. I want you to work on your research question, identify based on the Goldilocks test whether this research question is appropriate to start with or not. So once it is done, please refine your research question, extract your databases, and I need you to download all the research articles. How to download these research articles? You need to work on Microsoft Excel AI, and also you need to work with Microsoft Excel to generate this downloadable link. All videos are already available in your portal, okay? So watch those videos, follow that process, and I believe after module 2, you should be able to download, maybe if you have 100 research articles, so you should be able to download those 100 research articles. Obviously, downloading 100 research articles is a tedious job, but I try to create some automation for this, and you can use Microsoft Excel to create those links for quick download. But still, there is some manual work involved in it because most of these databases are not open access. Okay, so I want you to start working, and if any difficulty you face, please email me so we can work on solving your challenges, solving your problem. But most importantly, apply Goldilocks test on your research question before you move to the Prisma guidelines. Okay, so not more than 500 research article at first search. Okay, so if there are more than 500, you need to rethink about your idea and maybe make it more specific. Okay, that is it for today's session. I believe you know that what is your task now. You need to download all these research from different databases. Then you need to work in Microsoft Excel to remove duplicates. Then you need to filter out all the irrelevant information. And finally, you need to download all the research articles which are included in your search. Okay, that is your task for module 2. Once you have completed all these tasks, there is a self-assessment. Please fill up that self-assessment. And I would request you to fill up your profiles also, so I can learn from your profile about your areas of research. So please, at least 50 to 100 words about your work in your profile. Please add them so I can learn about your work and in a better way, and I can help you in writing those research questions. And for me, the task is I will share that video after maybe tonight, and also I will upload in the exercise file of this live session the template for this research article writing, okay, and all the details which I shared with you today. So I hope things are very clear, but obviously I need your help in order to help you. So you need to work a lot. This week is like more tedious, so you need to work a little bit more. And if you have any difficulties, please let me know, and I'll try to help you in the best way as I can. Okay? Thank you very much. And before I conclude, if you have any question, please go on. Otherwise, we can conclude this session. Yes, Kiran?
So, Dr. Qureshi, I am actually a qualitative researcher also. So, I am writing a systematic literature review. So, your courses come at the perfect time. And but I'm also doing, in a way, a literature review, a systematic literature review is like analyzing qualitative data. You do thematic analysis. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was using this software called Myra, MYRA. Okay, it's short for My Research Assistant, for my qualitative research. All right. So Myra will take your interview transcripts or whatever it is and generate themes based on a research question. All right. So I was quite excited because it gives you a very, very in-depth. So effectively, Myra will do about 3 months of coding and analysis work in 10 minutes. Okay. But its coding and analysis work would be about 70% or 80% of the work that you would do manually in 3 months. So you take Myra's report and then work on it further for a week or so, and you can get to that same point. But I was told by a colleague that, Kiran, be careful. High-ranking journals will not accept data analysis done by AI. Does the same thing stand for literature reviews also?
I don't believe this statement because there are a few reasons. Okay.
I'm sorry. No. The statement was you will get a desk rejection.
No. It's not. This is not the case. It's not the right understanding about the AI tool. What I was trying to tell you when you mentioned about Myra, let's think about some scenario. So you conduct interviews in qualitative research on teams, right?
Yes.
And the teams is capable of generating auto transcriptions, right?
Correct.
And you copy those or maybe those files you download, or maybe some tool is already integrated because teams can work with Copilot accurately. Okay.
Yes.
Why you want to use any other tool? I was thinking that you should use one AI tool which can help you with all of these work. You don't need to do transcription. You don't need to, because yes, these qualitative tools like NVivo, Myra, or all these, they work on the same pattern. They are basically data management tools.
So Myra is an AI tool. Myra is AI.
If it is AI, you can use it. You can use it without any hesitation. It is not about the tools. It is always about the method which you are trying to use. Okay. And the method is same. You are doing content analysis or thematic analysis.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You need to use some software, right?
Correct.
Why software, if that software is AI, why it is not being used? It can be used, and it is a better idea to use in, these tools. They understand this learning or maybe language more accurately than all those previous tools. So,
oh, you're preaching to the converted. I am totally sold on these ideas. My point is that I'm a little bit like, you do all the work and you get desk rejections.
No, it's not the case. It's wrong assessment.
Okay, thank you.
The journal, they have already mentioned their criteria very clearly. You need to tell us the tools you used. Because, for example, we are using now, I will be teaching you that tool which can analyze anything.
Okay.
So it's totally AI analytical tool. So why not that tool is acceptable? I'm not using SPSS. I'm not using any other data analytic tools. I'm using another AI tool which gives same functionality, but just the interface is different.
Right.
Previously, we were just working with some limited options and we were clicking on them. Now we are writing prompts. That's it. The logic behind those is same. We are analyzing information in the same manner.
Right.
It can give us facilities like just for prompt. It can understand us and it can understand the data as well. And that's good to go.
Okay, excellent. Do you have any social media account for this group, for this program?
We have this, but we were trying to create this WhatsApp group. But it will add some work for me. So I'm trying to find some person who can handle that WhatsApp group. But I'll try to develop that.
Sure, that would be great. I mean WhatsApp is for communication more, but I meant if there was a group on LinkedIn or something, we could tag it or hashtag it or something.
We have on social media the APRA group and also SLRM. Both of these groups are available, and share the information of both of these groups.
Excellent. Please do, because then we can tag it, we can mention it, and probably at the end of the program, we can also mention the things we've learned, etc., which would be useful for future participants.
Thank you very much. And I will share all these social media links.
Thank you.
And also, For me, the only thing is I need to send you all the template, right? So let me take note of this, the template for, yeah. Any further question? Okay, anyone? Okay, so let's conclude today's session. I believe you are, you are able to understand what you need to do for this week. Obviously, that will take some time, but I want you to work on these databases and try to send me your assessment, self-assessment, which is already uploaded on your portal. Okay. Thank you very much and have a very nice week. Bye. Have a nice
Bye-bye.